Welcome back to the current event module for prelims 2022. And in the last sessions, we initiated discussion on some of the most important events which were there in news in 2021. So, so we'll be continuing that part. And the first topic which is coming from a security point of view, and you can also say that's from privacy point of view, and that is something about personal data protection. Okay, so the topic is personal data protection. Personal data protection. And already no India is debating on having a very comprehensive data protection law. Okay, we are debating on data protection law, protection law, and actually it's in a bill stage. Okay, it's not a law. We want to have a comprehensive law, but that law is not finalized yet. We are in a billing stage, and there's a committee who drafted this data protection bill, and that committee was B.N. Sri Krishna committee. B.N. Sri Krishna committee. Okay, so on the basis of the recommendation of this committee, B.N. Sri Krishna committee, we have a kind of a bill. It is called as a personal data protection bill of 2019. Okay, a personal data protection bill, data protection bill of 2019. So since 2019, Parliament is debating on this bill, and it's not no, it's not turned into law. Why? Because there were several challenges which been there in personal data protection bill. Okay, some are saying that the government is diluting this particular law, or some are saying it's not that comprehensive, which was suggested by this B.N. Sri Krishna committee. So many issues are there. So very recently, some of the development in the news was there. And what was the development? Right down, a joint parliamentary committee has finalized and adopted the draft report on a personal data protection bill. So when we were debating on this particular bill, this bill was sent to the joint parliamentary committee for the scrutinization. When we were dealing with the Indian polity module in our live classes, so I told you that if any of the bill is it's some issues are there with that bill, or there is some contradictions are there in the bill, so that bill usually sent to the joint parliamentary committee. So joint parliamentary committee very recently finalized and adopted this draft on data protection bill of 2019. Okay, so write down the joint parliamentary committee, joint parliamentary committee, we call it JPC. Okay, recently finalized the draft of personal data protection bill of 2019. So very recently they finalized this personal data protection bill of 2019. Okay, 2019. And very soon we'll be having a very comprehensive law in our country related to data protection, related to personal data protection. So when we're talking about this personal data protection and all, first you should have a very good understanding of what is the difference between personal data and non-personal data. देखो बहुत से लोगों को यही नहीं पता what is non-personal data and what is personal data. Okay, what is personal data and what is non-personal data? See, personal data is something by which you can identify an individual. Are you getting this? It's a set of data. It's a set of data by which one can identify. Okay, an individual. That is called as personal data. So if you are just saying name, name only you cannot identify a person. Again, India में तुम एक नाम ले रहा है राकेश, so just by hearing Rakesh you cannot identify a person that this is only that person. No. So name itself is not that set of data. If name is okay, collaborated with gender, collaborated with address, collaborated with location, GPS and all. Okay, it's collaborated with biometry information, your iris, your fingerprints, your everything, no? So these are the set of the data by which an individual can be identified. Other than all the data are non-personal data by which individual cannot be identified. Okay, it's a group of the data, by which one cannot identify an individual. Okay, the traffic flow data, you cannot identify individual. Okay, railway ticket data, you cannot identify individual. The general etiquette got there. So you should have a very good understanding between what is personal data and what is non-personal data. It's very important from examination point of view. So please write down this. And as far as concerns are there, more concerns are with the personal data. And why more personal concerns are there with the personal data? Why? Because in an Indian constitution, we have a very, I would say, the cardinal feature of our constitution is the privacy. Are you getting this? We have the dignity, we have the privacy. So if privacy is breached of any individual, that means we are violating the norms of the constitution. It's very important from security point of view, individual security also, and also from the national security. From the national security point of view, so the data is very, very important. Data is a new fuel. Nowadays the fight is not more about arms and ammunition. अब गोली और बारूद का लड़ाई सिर्फ एक लड़ाई नहीं है, अभी डेटा का भी लड़ाई है. So we have the many issues. We have the data mining issues, we have data intrusion issues. Okay, many issues. The false use of data, from health perspective, from security perspective, from dignity perspective, from privacy perspective, the false use of data. Without your consent, somebody is using your name. Without your consent, somebody is using your data. You can just imagine what can be the scenario. It's happening in the country, and only not in the country, it's happening in the world. India is worst performer in terms of data protection. एक छोटा सा ऐप डाउनलोड करेगा और उसमें एक छोटा सा, बहुत छोटे स्मॉल फॉन्ट साइज में तुमसे पूछेगा आर यू गिविंग द कंसेंट, और तुम बिना सोचे समझे उसमें टिक मार दिया, और जैसे ही तुमने ओके किया, तुम्हारा पूरा डेटा उनके पास जा रहा है, उनके सर्वर्स में जा रहा है. You don't know the origination of that app, whether the app is coming from US, whether the app is coming from China, or whether the app is coming from Pakistan. You don't know this. We download the app, we give the consent. By giving the consent, you're sharing your data with that particular group, with that company. And how they are using your data, this is what the scenario is, how they use the data. So it's very, very critical from privacy point of view, is a fundamental principle of a constitution, security point of view, individual security point of view, and of course the national security point of view. Okay, so many countries have different sets of principles to deal with these particular data protection law. जैसे कुछ example अगर मैं आपको बोलूं how US deal, so the US is dealing in terms of privacy. So for US, privacy is very, very important. Okay, so they have no the arrangement within the constitution also, and they have within the judiciary framework also. Okay, so how US is dealing, the laws within the constitution, the laws flowing out from the constitution, within the constitution, plus judiciary. Okay, plus judiciary. They questions Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Instagram. They question. That video also gone viral 2 years back, that how the Google CEO, Microsoft CEO, and Facebook CEO, how they are answering the questions of the US officials. Okay, it was a very, very tough, I would kind of a arrangement, a stringent arrangement US is what having. Today, if you wanna ask me, name the country which is having very tough data protection law, I'll be saying US. Okay, it's very, very tough to get consent from US government, okay, US official, if you are in this particular data protection field. Okay, similarly, European Union, that day I told you the comprehensive rules, we call it GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations of 2018. So यूरोपियन यूनियन इसके थ्रू कंट्रोल कर रहा है, रेगुलेट कर रहा है, कमांड कर रहा है डेटा प्रोटेक्शन को. चाइना इज आल्सो नाउअडेज फोकसिंग ऑन द बट चाइना's I would say the strategy is from the security point of view, the national security point of view. So they are having some approach and arrangement in order to secure the Chinese borders and boundaries and all. So this is what the strategy US is for performing, European Union have, or the China have in this one. What is about India? India still is debating on this particular bill, and which is called a data protection bill, but there is some development, and that is why we are reading this up here. The Joint Parliamentary Committee recently finalized, adopted the draft of this, and very soon it will be going into the floor of the parliament, and soon it will be turned into law. So it's a good point. That one. Now the issue is that whatever B.N. Sri Krishna committee have suggested in 2018-19, okay, the bill must be in that form only. We should not undermine the spirit of this data protection bill of 2019. Okay, there were many issues. I was reading one of the article written by one of the security expert, and he was in this domain only, the data protection and all. So he's saying whatever recommendations were there by the B.N. Sri Krishna committee, वैसा ही law बनना चाहिए. We should not dilute those norms. This was only the issue in the Rajya Sabha also, in the Lok Sabha also. Opposition have said that the bill is not in that form which was there in B.N. Sri Krishna committee. That is why this bill was sent to the Joint Parliamentary Committee in 2019. Okay, so after, when it is coming from Joint Parliamentary Committee, I still believe that there must be some upgradation and there must be some rehauling of that bill, and it will be very interesting to see what are the overhaulings have been done, repair have been done in this bill. So this is very interesting. Okay, this is going to be very interesting in coming future. So let's wait when this bill is what is open for the debate in the parliament. So this is what something you need to know. So key principle आप लिख लो, key principles. अगर आप ये पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल के बारे में कुछ की पॉइंट्स लिखना चाहते हैं तो आप प्लीज लिखिए. We have taken care of technology. Okay, we have taken care of technology. Okay, we have framed the rule for informed consent. Without your consent, without individuals' consent, without customers' consent, company, firm, or any individual cannot use your data. It's something. अभी एयरटेल एक बिल पेमेंट ऐप है. कुछ साल पहले जब हम उस बिल पे पेमेंट ऐप पे जब लॉगिन करता था, पोस्ट पेड या प्रीपेड बिल को भरने के पहले ओटीपी आता था, तो हमें पता लगा without your consent they are opening your payment bank account. Airtel nowadays is a payment bank account, and recently it's got the consent from RBI also. अभी उसको full fledged bank हम उसको बना रहा है. So एयरटेल जैसा बड़ा कंपनी अगर आपकी कंसेंट के बिना पर एयरटेल पेमेंट बैंक में अकाउंट आपका खोल दे रहा है, so you just imagine कि what have been the scenarios in India regarding data protection. Literally zero. ये जो डाला गया ये सब एपिसोड्स होने के बाद ही डाला गया. Informed consent. Without the consent of individual, without the consent of customer, you can do nothing. Okay, it is same for the private players also. It is same for the public players also. Government भी आपके consent के बिना अपना डेटा जो है वो यूज नहीं कर सकती. सो दिस इज व्हाट द कार्डिनल प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ डेटा प्रोटेक्शन लॉ इन इंडिया. डेटा मिनिमाइजेशन. डेटा मिनिमाइजेशन, डेटा मिनिमाइजेशन मतलब सरकार को जितना डेटा चाहिए सिर्फ उतना ही लेगी. ये नहीं कि किसी छोटी वाली चीज के नाम पे पूरा बड़ा आपका डेटा लेती. आपका आधार कार्ड बनाना है तो आधार कार्ड बनाने में आपका जो डेटा लगेगा वो हम लेंगे सिर्फ. ये नहीं कि परेशान कर रहा है 20-50 कागज मंगा के. दिस इज द डेटा मिनिमम. व्हाट इज जस्ट नीडेड दैट मस्ट बी एंटरटेन. दिस इज व्हाट द मीनिंग ऑफ डेटा मिनिमाइजेशन. A controller accountability. Whosoever authority is controlling your data, we have taken care of that also. Controller accountability. Okay, with more power comes more responsibility. So if you are having data of crores of Indians in your system, you must be very responsible. You have to be accountable. How you are using that data, for what purpose, for what period of time, what is the significance. Everything is being what to control. A controller accountability, he has to be accountable to that individual also, and he has to be accountable to the institute also. It's the meaning of the controller accountability. Then structured enforcement. Structure enforcement, it's also one of the feature of the data protection law in India. ये बिल में ये सब ध्यान दिया गया है. Okay, it must be there must be a high powered statutory authority with sufficient capacity. It means institution, a separate institution, I would say the powerful institution must be there to control the data related issues, you know. ठीक है. तो स्ट्रक्चर्ड एनफोर्समेंट मतलब एक लॉ से बनी हुई बॉडी होना चाहिए जिसको हम स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी बोलता है. That must have the sufficient power, sufficient capacity, and must be given with the power of civil court if necessary, because data is something very sensitive issue. It's very critical for Indian economy also and for the security also. So this is what something my favorite arrangement in the name of structured enforcement. Okay, structured enforcement. Then deterrent penalties. अगर गड़बड़ी हो रहा है तो पनिशमेंट पेनाल्टीज का भी प्रावधान इस बिल में रखा गया. सो डिटरेंट पेनाल्टीज, it's also very important point. So technology, informed consent, data minimization, controller accountability, structured enhancement, deterrent penalties and all, this is very something important from data protection bill of 2019 point of view. Okay, so till now India don't have any kind of a legal framework. Okay, we are in a starting of this particular era that now we are discussing and about to have a law. It's called personal data protection law on the recommendation of BN Shri Krishna committee. And also what could be the future of India after this law. It will be very interesting to see. And इस लॉ के आने के बाद डेटा प्रोटेक्शन में हमारा देश आगे बढ़ेगा, सेफ्टी पे आगे बढ़ेगा, सिक्योरिटी पे आगे बढ़ेगा, ऐसा हमारा विश्वास है. So please write down all these points. Please write down all these points. This is enough for your PT point 2. Okay, so next topic we are taking for discussion is about drug issues. Okay, about drugs issues in the world and how India is also the victim of the drugs and all. So write down drugs trade issue. It's been issue. Okay, so there was a report from United Nation Office on Drugs and Crime. There is an office, United Nation Office on Drugs and Crime. Drugs and crime. And This report was there in 2021 actually, and according to this report, it said that Afghanistan's opium production is rising for the 5th year. So Afghanistan opium, okay, opium production rose for 5th year. Okay, for 5th year, which reflects the undermining efforts to stop the drug issues. So again, there's a report coming from United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime that Afghanistan's opium trade is rising continuously for 5th year. और इसका ये रिफ्लेक्शन है कि हम जो भी कुछ कर रहा है अफगानिस्तान के विकास के लिए, अफगानिस्तान के ड्रग्स को रोकने के लिए, वो सब फेल होता जा रहा है. So it's not only for the Afghanistan. This report is for the world. That all the neighboring countries of the Afghanistan, okay, all those countries who want to see Afghanistan as a rising nation, all those countries who see Afghanistan must be free of war, must be free of drug, must be free of all inhuman exercises. Okay, इस सबके मुंह पे एक बहुत बड़ा स्लैप है. Despite all the efforts, US invested billions of dollars in Afghanistan. India invested millions of dollars in Afghanistan. Okay, इन सब के मुंह पे ये एक बहुत बड़ा स्लैप है कि despite your all effort, financial effort, moral effort, ethical effort and all efforts, अफगानिस्तान का जो ट्रेड है, opium trade, it was rising from last 5-6 years. So this is what the report is claiming. So there's a 37% increase in the extent of land use for illegal cultivation of opium. A 37%. Afghanistan में 37% increase in the cultivation of opium in Afghanistan. And it shows that Afghanistan is the world's largest opium producer now. Okay, Afghanistan is largest opium producer. It's opium producer. Okay, now why we are reading this particular news from India point of view, you just see that Afghanistan is here. Okay, and this is what the India. Okay, this is Afghanistan, this is India, this is Pakistan. So the opium and all the drugs, which is what produced here, they're taken to Pakistan. And from Pakistan, it's coming to India. So although the cultivation is there in the Afghanistan, but following the trade practices, that drug, the opium, is coming to Pakistan, and Pakistan is dropping those opium in the border areas of India. It's coming to India. So it's a very, very critical issue. Security related issue, health related issue, addictions issue and all. So India is what the victim of. लग रहा है कि अफगानिस्तान में opium produce हो रहा है, but India is the victim. And you have the statistics of India that in last 10 years, in the last decade, the opium consumption in India also increased. Okay. Opium consumption. Okay, cannabis and all psychoactive substances consumption in India increased and drastically increased. A worst victim at the border areas of the Pakistan, Punjab. You have seen the movie Urta Punjab. The social issues been depicted in that movie. Beautifully, this movie depicted that the drug issues and all. Punjab, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, okay, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, the worst victim of even Uttar Pradesh. Drug is coming right from the way from Nepal and all. So Pakistan से नेपाल पहुंच रहा है and Nepal से फिर India में inject हो रहा है. So the victim, India is also the victim of this drug related menace and all. So write down this important issue. And there is a phenomenon according to experts. Okay, according to expert, there are two natural regions, okay, on the globe. One is known as the golden crescent, and the second is the golden triangle. Okay, a golden triangle. Three countries: Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan comes under this golden crescent. And golden triangle is about the four countries. One is Myanmar, Laos, okay, Thailand and Vietnam. Thailand and Vietnam. Four countries. They make triangle like this. Okay, here is Myanmar, here is Laos, here is Vietnam, and here is Thailand. They make triangle like geometry and all. No? And Iran is like this. The golden crescent. Okay, this area. So this is what Iran. Okay, Iran, and this is Pakistan, and this is Afghanistan. So golden crescent. On the map, if you will be noticing, no, a crescent जैसा यहाँ पे triangle जैसा. There are two natural regions. Okay, two natural regions, and from these two natural regions, there's a global trade of the drugs. From this golden crescent, even to European countries. Okay, the eastern coast of the North America, to the African countries, to the northern part of South America and all. So यहाँ से यहाँ जा रहा है. And from this जो Myanmar, Laos, Thailand and Vietnam going to Japan, it's even going to China, it's coming to India. Okay, from there also coming to India, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan. From here also it's coming to India and Australia. Okay, a southern coast of South America, the western coast of North America and all. This is the global drug trade. So this is source reason for global drug trade and all. Drug trade and also. Okay, so this is the issue and highlighted by the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime. Please note down this issue. Note down these names of the countries. Recently, the Bangalore police also arrested two drug peddlers also. So selling drugs the street of Bangalore, and they were from Iran. उनसे पूछताछ पूछा गया, इंटेरोगेट किया गया, तो बोला हम अफगानिस्तान से ये सब लेके आया. So in India also, many drug peddlers are there just for making some money and all. So this is happening in the country. Okay, India का थोड़ा देख लो, worst affected region. India, worst affected region. So all those states which I told you include Manipur. Manipur is worst affected from drugs menace and all. Manipur Punjab in northwest, worst affected. Okay, Mumbai, Delhi, two metropolitan cities of India, worst affected. Although it's there in every state of India, I told you the name of the states also. But worst affected is these regions. These regions. Okay, so why this drug addiction is very harmful for the health also, and it's not good for economy. देखो, drugs क्यों आ रहा है market? The main reason is poverty. Poverty is there. Why? Because unemployment is there. In a country like India, with the very serious level of unemployment, is forcing many youths to live in poverty. Many families in poverty. And if poverty is there, so they will be searching for some alternative options from where we should earn money. गरीब आदमी से आप गलत काम भी करवा सकते हो. Why? Because desperately he is in the need of money. गरीब आदमी को ही क्यों चुना जाता है आतंकवादी बनाने के लिए? अजमल कसाब, right from Pakistan, long way came to India, and when interrogated by Mumbai police and ATS and all, गरीबी में जी रहे थे हम, हमें इतना पैसा देने को बोला, दिया मेरे परिवार को, मैंने आके यहाँ आंख बंद करके गोलियां चलाने का काम करना. गरीब आदमी से कुछ भी काम करा लो. Why drug issues in this country are increasing? Why? Because many people are in the state of unemployment and living in acute poverty, and they fall in the trap of those drug dealers and drug producers and all. So they become drug peddlers. And if they are becoming drug peddler, more jobs in this particular job. हाँ, इसको पैसा मिल गया, अभी मैं भी यही काम करूँगा. Health impacts are there, and if health impacts are there, economy suffers. जिन युवाओं को शिक्षा लेना चाहिए था, काम करना चाहिए था, सरकार को काम देना चाहिए था, आज उनकी हेल्थ खराब है. क्यों? क्योंकि ड्रग्स लेते हैं और वर्क फोर्स हमारा नीचे आ रहा है. वर्क फोर्स हमारा क्वालिटी वर्क फोर्स नहीं है, इकोनॉमी सफर करेगी. दिस इज कॉल्ड ड्रग साइकिल. कॉल्ड एज ड्रग साइकिल. Okay, so this is what happening. This is what happening in the country. So I hope you understood the concept of this drug trade and what are the findings for this, for the country of Afghanistan. Okay, for the country of Afghanistan. There is one more report on drug we can call as a World Drug Report. Okay, this is the same report, the United Nations Office on, it's called a World Drug Report. By United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. The same report we call it the World Drug Report, and it's saying that 275 million people, 275 million people uses drug globally, and 36 million people are in drug disorder. They have some kind of medical condition we call as a drug disorder. Nervous system को affect कर देगा वो. Okay, drug disorder. During a COVID-19 pandemic, during COVID-19 pandemic, accelerated some pre-existing trafficking dynamics. Accelerated, बढ़ गया है COVID-19. Accelerated a pre-existing, जो बंद हो चुका था, जो रूट ट्रेड का trafficking and all, they again accelerated the dynamics. You can write down in this finding of World Drug Report. Okay, so all those drugs which are in the use, which are in the hands of people, the opium is there, cannabis is there, okay, marijuana is there, cannabis is there, marijuana is there, sedatives are there. Sedatives, so opium, cannabis, marijuana, sedatives, and other psychoactive substances. Psychoactive substances. Okay, so the narcotics products and psychoactive substances, they are in the hand of people. They are in the hand of people. Okay, how India controls? How India controls? What are the laws and the frameworks with India? So number one, we have a very comprehensive act, a Narcotics, Drugs and Psychoactive Substances Act. We have this narcotics, drugs and psychotropic substances. ये psychotropical Substances Act of 2000. Which year this act was there? You can just write the year. I'm in a state of confusion. What was the year of that act actually? Accordingly, you write. So this is act we call as NDPS Act. So very, very comprehensive, stringent punishments are there. Abhi, the Aryan Khan episode, which was there in October 2021, was arrested under this narcotics, drugs, and psychotropic substances. Even the officers which are using this act, they have got some kind of immunity also. So very kind of with the power is there. Okay. The discretionary powers are also there with the officers when they are using this act and all. The second, how India is controlling border surveillance. Okay, border surveillance. We have deployed technology. Okay, we have deployed technology, extra troops, border frontiers. Pakistan se jo aa raha hai, that is also a very complex problem. Nowadays, they are using some modern type of tactics. A drone से drop कर रहा है इंडिया, पाकिस्तान से ड्रोन ऑपरेट हो रहा है, उस ड्रोन में बहुत किलो भर के ड्रग्स रख दिया गया है, ओपियम, कैनबिस, सेडेटिव्स एंड ऑल, और जैसे ही इंडिया का बॉर्डर क्रॉस करेगा, इंडिया के जोन में आएगा, ड्रॉप कर देगा गांव. It's a very challenge for the Punjab police also, it's challenge for BSF also, it's challenge for Indian Army also, because nowadays it's a very complex issue. Very recently, अभी वो जो the jurisdiction limit का एक एक्ट पास किया था सरकार ने कि BSF के पास जो होगा वो ज्यादा दायरा होगा, पंजाब पुलिस थोड़ा सा दायरा कम किया गया है कुछ स्टेट में, या राजस्थान पुलिस का, पंजाब पुलिस का, स्टेट पुलिस का, आई वुड से. तो ये इसी को देख के किया था कि हम नए कॉम्प्लेक्स इश्यूज के साथ बॉर्डर मैनेजमेंट, बॉर्डर सर्विलेंस कर रहे हैं, तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा पावर उन फोर्सेस के पास होना चाहिए ताकि इस कॉम्प्लेक्स इश्यूज को हम पकड़ सकें, समझ सकें और तुरंत निवारण कर सकें। इसीलिए बीएसएफ के पास थोड़ा सा रिडक्शन उन्होंने बढ़ाया था। दिस वाज द न्यूज एक्चुअली, हम उसको देखेंगे आने वाले टाइम पे। Okay, then India has a strategy also called as Nasha Mukti Bharat Annual Action Plan. Nasha Mukti Bharat Annual Action Plan. Nasha Mukti Bharat Annual Action Plan of 2020 to 2021. This is the Nasha Mukti Bharat Annual Plan. Okay. Then we have a strategy for the neighboring countries also. So strategy with neighboring countries. ओके आपके अगर पड़ोसी अगर आपके साथ हैं तो फिर आप सुरक्षित। कुछ भी ड्रग रिलेटेड चैलेंज, ड्रग रिलेटेड थ्रेट अगर आपको मिल रहा है तो आपके नेबर ने अगर आपको सावधान कर दिया तो आप सावधान हो जाओगे। जैसे ईरान में हमने पोर्ट बनाया, वी कॉल इट चबहार पोर्ट। सो वी हैव अ काइंड ऑफ अरेंजमेंट विद ईरान कि अगर कोई भी ड्रग रिलेटेड सब्सटेंस उस पोर्ट पे लोड किया जा रहा हो और इंडिया की तरफ भेजा जा रहा हो तो ईरान अथॉरिटीज विल बी गिविंग इंटेल टू इंडियन गवर्नमेंट, इंडियन ट्रूप्स। There's a port in Ethiopia, we call it one of the port is there also there in the country of Ethiopia or what? Not Ethiopia, some of the African countries is there, so उसके साथ भी हमने same arrangement किया है। Okay, so we have Bandar Abbas port. Okay, same kind of arrangement. So strategies with the neighbor. Okay, strategies with the neighbor. Okay, so this is what the strategy of India to control this drug trafficking, narco terrorism, terror funding, encourages drug consumptions in the society, and also collectively, comprehensively, this is what the way by which we are controlling the drug related issues. So I hope you got the understanding of this particular event. Okay, and now I'm coming to a next topic, Swachh Sarvekshan 2021 report. And recently it was released by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Okay, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and that is a report called Swachh Sarvekshan report. Next topic is Swachh Sarvekshan. Swachh Sarvekshan report of 2021, and this report is by a Ministry of Housing. You should know which ministry is attached with this Sarvekshan report. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And as far as this Swachh Sarvekshan 2021 report is concerned, you should say that this is the annual exercise. Okay, annual exercise which rank cities. Okay, which rank cities in terms of cleanliness under Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Okay, so rank cities on the basis of cleanliness, and this ranking is what conducted by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs along with the Quality Council of India. It's a technical body, Quality Council of India. We call this QCI. So both the ministry and QCI, okay, conduct this exercise and rank cities on the basis of cleanliness in their cities. Okay, cleanliness in there. The first was there in 2016, and since then every year there is a Swachh Sarvekshan ranking, and this year 4320 cities participated. Okay, 4320 cities participated, and it's kind of a largest ever participation. Largest ever participation. First was there in 2016. So this year 2021, so 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So the sixth report. It's a sixth report. Okay, so now many candidate asked us what is the basis of this exercise, what are the parameters. You just understand the parameter. If this is a circle for Swachh Sarvekshan, so three kind of parameter you can say. One is 40% weightage, one is 30% weightage, this is 30% weightage. The 40% weightage is for the service progress. This is for service progress. Okay. Service level progress. सेग्रीगेशन कितना हुआ है, कलेक्शन कितना हुआ है, प्रोसेसिंग कितना हुआ है, डिस्पोजल कितना हुआ है, sanitation कितना हुआ है. This is service level. What are the services performed by the municipal corporation and that city? Okay, this is certification. 30% is for the certification. Certification mean किसी authority ने कुछ certify किया हो, ISO certification, ODF certification, ODF plus certification, ODF double plus certification, water plus certification, water double plus certification. Any rating is there. So this is what something about certification. Okay, and rest 30% is the citizen voice. What citizen says. Not just perception of the citizen. So this is for there. इस पे है 2400 marks, इस पे है 1800 marks, और इस पे भी है 1800. So 2400 plus 1800 plus 1800, 2400 plus 3600, 2400 3600, 00 6000. The total exercise is of 6000 marks. Total exercise is about 6000 marks. So those who get more marks, they will be in the top rank, and those who are getting low marks, they will be in the down ranking. Har saal there is a city in the Madhya Pradesh. It's called the commercial capital of Madhya Pradesh, Indore. Okay, for the consecutive fifth time, Indore won the title of cleanest city. Indore, for the fifth time, is the cleanest city of India. Cleanest city of India. The second is, this is the first. Second is Surat. The third is the Vijayawada. Okay, third is Vijayawada. In 2016 exercise, the first city was Mysore, but since 2017 till 2021, Indore is the first city in terms of Swachh Sarvekshan. Okay, Varanasi is the best Ganga town. Varanasi has got the distinction of best Ganga town. Okay, Ahmedabad, best cantonment area. Best cantonment area. Best cantonment area is Ahmedabad. Okay. And in this 2021 survey also, they have started a new concept which is called as, so you can call it a new concept. The concept is the Prerak Daur Samman. Prerak Daur Samman. Prerak Daur Samman. A new performance category introduced under Swachh Bharat Sarvekshan 2021, and under this particular Samman, 5 cities: Indore, Surat, Navi Mumbai, New Delhi, and Tirupati. And Tirupati. Okay, they were categorized as Divya. They all were categorized as Divya. They are categorized as Divya. Divya means platinum. These 5 cities are platinum cities under this particular concept. So, okay, so the most important part from UPSC point of view is this particular fact. ये आपको याद होना चाहिए. 40%, 30%, 30%, 6,000 mark, and how they are distributed. It's very important. Write down facts about Swachhata Sarvekshan 2021. The next topic I am taking for discussion is the satellite-based internet service. Okay, satellite-based internet service. And what do you understand by this satellite internet service or satellite-based internet service? Write down satellite internet services. Internet services. Okay, so internet, it's a wireless internet connection which uses satellite in space. It's called the satellite internet service. Write down, it's a wireless internet services which uses satellite in space. Satellites in space to get digital servers, to get an digital internet signal. It's called satellite internet services. Okay, and what kind of satellites are used for such services? A very small aperture terminal, you can say. Satellites, no, very small satellites. Call is very small aperture terminal. A VSAT. Small satellites, not big satellites, small satellites. Okay, small satellites are used, and these small satellites are placed in a lower Earth orbit. Lower Earth orbit. You know, there are different kinds of Earth orbit. Okay, a geosynchronous orbit is there, polar synchronous orbit is there, but one more orbit is there that is called the lower Earth orbit in the geosynchronous format and in the polar synchronous format. Okay, very close to the Earth, 300 kilometers, 500 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers. We call as a lower Earth orbit, and when this is placed, they give the internet services to the user. Okay, internet service to the user. Okay, so why it is in news actually? Because there's a American private company, Starlink. It's a SpaceX company, the Elon Morgan's company. Elon Musk company, not Morgan. IPL का ऑक्शन चल रहा है इसलिए मॉर्गन का नाम आ गया, सॉरी. SpaceX on Musk. No, SpaceX is the most successful venture till date. Elon Musk. Okay, bye. Elon Musk. And they've started this Starlink project, which is what the satellite is, the satellite internet service. So India is saying it's not authorized in India, so Indians should not subscribe to it. Okay, it's not authorized by India, so a citizen must not sign it, must not use it. This is why, that is why we are reading. It was there in news. Okay, so in future India should also think of making some satellite internet services. It's the future. No one can stop the idea whose time has come. उस दिन बताया था ना, एक विशेषज्ञ ने, एक बुद्धिजीवी ने ये कहा था, no one can stop any idea whose time has come. It's a time of satellite internet service. Okay, एरोप्लेन में भी चल रहा होगा तो भी इंटरनेट का इस्तेमाल आप कर पाएगा. It's the benefits of using the satellite internet services and all. Okay. So some benefits are there of using satellite based service. So you can write down, it's cheap, easy to connect. Okay, easy to connect, available, internet available in nearly all terrains, whether it may be hilly area, okay, in valleys, in desert areas, in island, and okay, connectivity is also connectivity, the mile vehicles, miles of connectivity. Okay, connectivity is also mile connectivity. It's faster than DSL connection. We call it the broadband, you know. It's faster than DSL, faster than DSL. And sometimes the speed is 100 Mbps. 100 Mbps. Okay, so these are some benefits of the internet services. So today, till date, we have the Starlink also, and even more companies are there. You can write the names. Amazon also started the QPIR service. It's by Amazon. Okay, Amazon and OneWeb. OneWeb. 1, 2, 3. But till now, 3 important satellite internet services we have. Not available in India, but they're in the world. Okay. So very soon, India also going to launch. They have the plan that till 2022, India also going to launch the satellite television, satellite internet services and all. ठीक है, अभी हम काम चला रहा है DSL से ब्रॉडबैंड, फिक्स्ड वायरलेस इंटरनेट, वायरलेस सेल्यूलर नेटवर्क्स, 4G, 5G, फाइबर ऑप्टिकल केबल्स, ये आज हमारे पास ऑप्शंस हैं. बट वेरी सून इंडिया गोइंग टू लॉन्च the commercial use of the satellite services. अभी डिफेंस के लिए है लेकिन पब्लिक यूज के लिए नहीं है. You can write. Okay. Then we take a different event for discussion, and that is something about the whole bacteria. Bacteria was in news. Nowadays, UPSC is asking question on some microorganisms also. Why to left this? So, a whole bacteria. Whole back. Whole bacteria. And Indonesia researchers, okay, claimed that there's a reduction in dengue cases after breeding dengue mosquitoes with Wolbachia bacteria. So there is a reduction in dengue cases if dengue mosquitoes are breeded with this bacteria called as Wolbachia bacteria. So it's a good research which can strengthen the fight against dengue. So they are saying if these dengue mosquito, Aedes aegypti mosquitoes and all, which causes dengue, if they are breeded with Wolbachia bacteria, there's a reduction in the case of dengue. 77% reduction in the case of dengue. Okay, so what about this Wolbachia bacteria? Actually, it's a common bacteria. It's not any no unique or kind of no very spare bacteria. It's a very common bacteria. It's not a rare bacteria. It's a common bacteria that occur naturally in almost 60% of insect species. Occurs 60% of occurs in 60% of Wolbachia. Sorry, 60% of insect species. Insect species. Okay, there may be mosquitoes, there may be fruit flies, there may be fireflies, moths, dragonflies, butterflies, and all. So this is what. And best thing about Wolbachia bacteria, you should know actually, this is the fit for human. It's not anti-human. It is safe for humans. It's safe for human. Okay, it's safe for humans. So when the dengue causing mosquitoes, if they are breeded with, and why they are breeding? Because this dengue mosquitoes, no Aedes aegypti mosquito, they don't carry this Wolbachia bacteria. So it's a note that Aedes aegypti mosquito, which causes dengue, does not have Wolbachia bacteria. Hence, when they are breeded with this Wolbachia bacteria, they cannot trigger this dengue. Okay, they cannot trigger the dengue, and this is why it's important. So देखो डेंगू से लड़ाई अगर हम कुछ स्ट्रेंथन करना है, अभी कितना हाहाकार मचा हुआ था डेंगू से. After COVID-19, the second wave, there was a wave of dengue. Month of July, August, September. Okay, whole country saw the incubation phase of the dengue disease. So ये जो था हमारा about dengue, so इसको कम करने का ये बहुत बढ़िया रिसर्च. In future we can use the Aedes aegypti mosquito. They must breed with this Wolbachia bacteria, and it's very common with all the insects. Butterfly में भी होता है, fireflies में भी होता है, fruit fly में भी है, moths में भी है, dragonfly में भी है. So why not to use this natural concept, natural, I would say, the research. So Wolbachia bacteria, they can ask you the question related to Wolbachia bacteria in your PT examination. So please write down this. Okay, and then there's a news coming from Haryana. News coming from Haryana. That news is something about the Saraswati River. It's an ancient river. It's a mythological river. Haryana. Okay, and what is the news actually? That along the lost Saraswati Trail, or a 1600-year-old site of continued habitation found. So archaeologists found 1600-year-old habitation site. Okay, so they are saying that this was a trail. The lost river hai. That lost river is Saraswati. If suppose this is Saraswati river, now no water is there, lost river is there. Once upon a time, few thousand years back, there was a river. They are saying So they are saying that in Haryana, archaeologists found a site where there are some evidences that this was some habitation, human habitation was there. People used to live in this. So this is another one evidence, okay, which confirms that there was a Saraswati river. So this another evidence which shows there was Saraswati river. Okay, there's a belief that 5,000 years ago Saraswati river dried and all. So many people ask question that there was no Saraswati river, but some kind of archaeologist facts when we are getting further strengthen the belief that there was the Saraswati river in that particular plain. So okay, and where this habitat was found in one of the village in Haryana, and that village name is Sandhai village. Okay, the Sandhai village. For geography optional student, they can ask you the location of Sandhai, very close to the Yamuna Nagar district. It's in the Yamuna Nagar district only of Haryana, and there are evidence of habitation. There are some religious evidences. The archaeologists know they found some stones of temple, and the temples were of Nagara style of temple. History में आप पढ़ोगे different types of temple. So they found temple remains also, and that temples of Nagara styled temple. Okay, Nagara style temple. Write down this. Okay, so keep this information with you. Keep this information with you. Now I'm coming to news which is there from United Nation. We call United Nation World Tourism Organization. So United Nation World Tourism Organization. Okay. World Tourism, we call as UNWTO. And they have given a list about best tourism villages. The list of best tourism villages of the world. Okay, it's a global exercise. It's a global exercise, and from India, a village from Telangana known as Pochampalli village is selected as one of the BT. Okay, Pochampalli village of Telangana selected as BTO, best tourism, best BTB, best tourism village. They have selected Pochampalli. They can ask you this question in PT examination. Okay, and as far as Pochampalli is concerned, it's called as a silk village. Okay, it's called a silk village of India. It's known for the silk rearing. Okay, silk rearing. It's a silk saris are very common from this village. Okay, and the silk sari name is Pochampalli Ikat. The silk sari name is Pochampalli Ikat saris. And Ikat saris have the GI tag also, which got in 2004. Okay, GI tag also, which we got in 2004. So Ikat saris, Pochampalli village, silk village of India. That is why it's been chosen. Okay, and as far as the historic perspectives are concerned about Pochampalli village, okay, Acharya Vinoba Bhave launched a Bhudan and Gramdan movement from Pochampalli in 1951. Okay, so this was the village for Acharya Vinoba Bhave. Acharya Vinoba Bhave. Vinoba Bhave started Bhutan move. Bhutan movement in 1951 from Pochampalli. Okay, write down this. Okay, so let's understand the mutation of the coronavirus and how it was named as Omicron. So about Omicron. Okay, so you know that WHO says that Omicron is a new variant of cancer. It's a new variant of cancer. So it's a new variant of COVID-19. It's a new variant of COVID-19. And after some series of mutation, okay, from COVID-19, which was there from Alpha to Delta, and from Delta to Omicron. Okay, so this is called the mutation. Mutation 1, mutation 2, and many kind of mutation. It's a major mutation. If it is there, so it is unrecognizable by the antibodies which are there in our body. Minor mutation, okay, it can be there. But if the major mutations are there, your body cannot respond to that particular antigen and antibodies are of no use. So this is what about the mutation. So mutation happens when the climate change. The mutation happens when the region change. Mutation happens when the temperature change. Mutation happens when the environment change, and also there are many other reasons for the mutation change and all. So as far as this the new variant is concerned, Omicron is concerned, this variant, the official name of this variant is B.1.1.529. B.1.1.529, and it was first reported from South Africa. It was first reported from South Africa, and there was some speculation that it's even more dangerous as compared to the Delta variant. So, what was the Delta variant? Is there the second wave in India? Is what hit by this Delta variant, and we have got the worst scenario, the dangerous atmosphere we have seen in the country. Okay, lack of oxygen, and there are multiple deaths are there and all. No hospital beds are available and all. So Delta variant was very dangerous, but there was some speculations in the month of September and October that there is what the Omicron variant is also there, which could be more dangerous. But thanks to that, no, there was not a major mutation, and thanks to all the vaccination drives were there in the country, so not major impact was there from Omicron. But as far as the WHO's terminologies are concerned, Omicron is a variant of concern. ये थोड़ा सा समझ लो, what is the variant of concern, what is the variant of interest, what is the variants under monitoring VUM, what is this? So पहला देखो, what is this variant of concern? Variant of concern, what is the variant of concern meaning? Is a WHO methodologies to classify the variants. Okay, so variant of concern is a variant that results in rise in transmissibility cases. If there is a rise in transmission of virus, okay, increase in fatality, okay, increase in deaths, you can say, and a decrease in effectiveness of vaccine. Okay. We can classify it as the vaccine, this variant of concern. Okay, all those alpha, beta, gamma, and delta variant. Okay, and now Omicron. Okay. All they were the variant of concern. Rise in transmission, no doubt. Increase in fatality, no doubt. Decrease in effectiveness of vaccine, no doubt. All were there in all these things. Variant of concern. A second is variant of interest. Variant of interest. It's something that affects characteristics of virus. Affects characteristics of virus such as disease severity, immune escape, transmissibility, and diagnostic escape and all. So that affects disease severity. Okay, immune escape. Okay, immune escape, transmission of disease, diagnostic escape. Okay, we can call a variant of interest. A variant of interest is something, that variant of that virus which affects the characteristics of virus such as disease and all. Okay, it's disease and all, immune escape, diagnostic escape. जांच कराने जा रहा है, पकड़ में नहीं आ रहा, लेकिन तुम बीमार है, ठीक है ना, मर नहीं रहा है आदमी, लेकिन तुम बीमार. So variant of interest. So immune escape, your immunity is not responding, you're not dying also, but you're not well also, you're not your immunity is also not strong. So variant of interest. Okay, community transmission phases there, but people are not dying, or the rate of death is very low. A variant of interest like this. Okay, so understand this meaning, variant of interest. Third is variant under monitoring, VUM. Under monitor, called as VUM. Okay, VUM. So there is a variant that are suspected to affect virus characteristics, but evidence of no impact is currently unclear. Can be a future risk. Lack of knowledge about that virus, but the future is at risk. We can call as a variant under monitor. Okay, we have some unclear impacts of virus. We don't know much about that virus, but it's there in the environment. So, but it can pose some future risk. Variant under monitoring. So this is so most dangerous is variant of concern. Middle is variant of interest, and the lowest one is variant under monitoring. This is the terminology used by the WHO. Okay, WHO. So write down this. Okay, so this is what the current affairs for today, and very soon we're gonna discuss the next affairs which were there in the month of the October, November, December, January 2021 and 2022. So please keep on tracking these modules, and we'll be coming with more topics. Thank you.